ordering fractions, example number 5. Okay, we are now going to be ordering more than 2 fractions. This is obviously a bit more complicated because we're not just having to compare and order 2, we're having to do more than that. This is with 4 fractions this time. My advice is going to change a wee bit. This time when ordering fractions, we need to do the same thing. We need to have the same denominator for all 4 of these fractions, but it's a little bit harder to find one that matches all 4. My advice is start with the largest, the denominator that is the largest number, okay? So out of these, obviously 12 is the largest. I would then think, okay, go through your 12 times tables, and as you go through them, try and match them up with multiples in the other times tables. Now, we could start off with, okay, 12 times 1, which is 12. Now, that is in the 4 times tables, which is great, and the 6 times tables, but it isn't in the 8 times tables, so it means that it won't work. 12 can't be our common denominator because 12 is not a multiple of 8. Works for those two, not for that one. It won't work for everything then. It needs to be a common denominator for all of them, okay? Common. So 12 times 1 didn't work. 12 times 2. 12 times 2 is 24. Now, 24 is in the 4 times tables because it's 4 times 6. It is in the 6 times tables because it's 6 times 4. And it is also in the 8 times tables because it is 8 times 3. That means that 24 will work as a common denominator because it is a multiple of 4, 6, 8, and 12. Okay? Now what we need to do is think, okay, what did we do to the denominator to turn it into 24? Well, for this one, we multiplied 12 by 2. Okay? That means whatever we did to the denominator, we do the same to the numerator. So it needs to be 7, also times by 2, which is 14. Here, it was 8 times 3. So we need to do the same to the numerator. 5 times 3, 15. Here it was 6 times 4. So we need to do 4 times 4 as well. 16. And here it was 4 times 6. So we need to do 3 times 6 as well. Okay. So we have created new equivalent fractions for all 4 of our original fractions. So this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, etc. All have the same denominator, which means that we can compare the numerators. Now you can see the order that they're in, okay? This is the smallest fraction, then this one, then this one, then this one. That means that this is the smallest fraction, then this would be the next largest, this would be the next largest, and this would be the next largest. What we then need to do is to write them out in order of ascending order, okay? That means biggest to smallest. So this was our smallest fraction, then 5/8 was our next biggest fraction, then 4/6 was our next biggest fraction, and finally 3/4 was our biggest fraction, okay? We have ordered them in ascending order from smallest to largest.